Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims. You're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is June the 12th, 2020. And before I get started, I just want to give a shout out to our listeners in Mexico. I had a I don't know how old she is, but I had a lady, reach out to me from Mexico yesterday, and I was like, wow, I won't get into fully or anything like that what we discussed, but the fact that it just kind of blows my mind, the fact that anybody is listening, let alone all the way in Mexico. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Apologize that I'm not fully bilingual or anything like that, so I hope you guys understand me. Well, obviously she did, but I know she mentioned that she wanted to share with people, but the X, Y, and Z. So shout out to you guys, man. Like I said, I know I kind of joke about it all the time, but yeah, it's a blessing to know that someone's listening outside of my mom. Like, I love my mama, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to you too, Mom, for listening. But you put things out here and you just never know who's listening. So it's a blessing to know that, someone is listening, as well as, that I can be here as an encouragement for you all. In case you don't know, it should be on the information, but, our email address is godsexandlove@gmail.com, or any of our social media pages. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. And, I guess right now I'm like a one-woman show with the exception of like the, panels and things like that. So, I mean, if you reach out to any of those places, you're probably going to get me, which means, if you want to ask me anything like this woman did, I'll do my best to answer. And, and yeah, so just letting you know I'm here, y'all. If you ever need someone to chit chat with, or some encouragement beyond the juice or anything like that, or if you got any topic ideas or something that you would love to hear about or whatever, feel free, feel free to shout it out, and I'll see what I can do. Well, anyway, let's get into the juice for today. So I don't know if y'all ready for this one, but the topic of today is going to be about biblical sex 101. Yes, class is in session, everyone. Let me be completely honest with you all. Like yesterday, I don't know if it was right after I recorded, but I would just say like this. Sex was heavy on my mind yesterday. And the crazy thing is, it's like, I think I've confessed, or I've shared with you all that, I tend to get horny a lot and stuff. So sometimes when I think about it, I just kind of brush it off, or I just kind of hold back or whatever like that. Cause I know that, my husband has to go to work, all these things. Right. But anyway, but no, it did come to my mind yesterday, even before I really started to think about it. The fact that this is God, Sex, and Love, and I haven't really talked about sex in a while. But at the same time, the thing that I do every day is the juice, and it's like daily inspiration. So, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily about sex, but hey, it is today. It is today. But yeah, so that was like one of the first thoughts I had about it. And then, it just kept going from there. I'll just put it like that. And so eventually, when the lady reached out to me, and she was asking me a question about sex, it's kind of like confirmation, I guess, in a bit or whatever. So yeah, so I don't know. When I woke up this morning, the topic was on my mind, and I'm just saying the topic, not the actual, actions. The topic was on my mind to talk about this morning. So here we are. So if you need some encouragement about sex this morning, well, go ahead and listen. Keep on listening. All right. So biblical sex 101. That's the topic for today. So that is my confession for y'all, and let's get into it. So the interesting thing is, I looked up the definition of sex just in case people don't know. And basically the definition says sexual activity, including specifically sexual intercourse. And so when I read that definition, I just was like, so you said sex, the definition of sex is sexual activity, specifically sexual intercourse. I'm just like, how you gonna say? It seems like it's saying sex is sex, as sex is the definition for sex, and it's like, okay. So then I decided to go deeper and look up sexual intercourse. Well, friends, I don't know if this is a big graphic for 6 a.m., but I'm around. I think I'm gonna go ahead and share the definition of sexual intercourse for you all, because I found it very interesting. Because I found it interesting because I was hesitant to share it with y'all. But at the same time, too, that's the whole point of God, Sex, and Love, because I feel like there's so much to discuss about sex and as a Christian and everything like that. And so, hey, that's what this platform is for, to be open and honest about all of these subjects. So, at the end of the day, this definition might be a bit graphic, but at the same time, is these are actual words for actual parts of our body and things like that. So, hopefully no one's offended by hearing the actual words. But here we go. So, the definition for sexual intercourse is sexual contact between individuals involving penetration, especially the insertion of a man's erect penis into a woman's vagina, typically culminating in orgasm and ejaculation of semen. In case you didn't know what sex was. I'm sure we all do, but I'm just saying, just in case. And if you're a little young listening to me right now, then yeah, that's what sex is. Anywho, so the biblical purpose for sex, friends, let's go ahead and get into that. So, again, you guys can check out carm.org for the full detail and explanation of this, but I'm just going to read the 4 purposes that they mention, which is procreation, intimacy, companionship, and physical pleasure. Those are the biblical purposes for sex. And again, let's keep it real, friends. Like, how many of us just only focus on a couple of those purposes? Or use sex for just a couple of those things, and not some of the other things, at the end of the day, the reality, and again, the purpose of sex is multifaceted, as we can see. It's the fulfillment of God's created order in marriage between a husband and a wife. So, and I apologize for the sounds in the background, but yeah, friends, I think that's where some of the issues come in when we try to sway away from the biblical purposes of sex. We get out of order with it. And we can see the effects that has on us as a nation, as a world, as families. It's deep, y'all. It's deeper than we know. And it's like, we can't take these things lightly. Like, we should not be taking these things as lightly as we do. But, it's all around us, friends. A lot of people don't even, consider the biblical aspect. And it's sad a bit, but hey, in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, maybe y'all think I'm just talking. Here's some Bible to go deeper. Check out Genesis 1:28. Check out songs. It seems like you should really just reflect on all of songs, but in particular, here are some verses that you all can check out. Check out songs 1 and 2. Songs 1 and 13, Songs 2 and 3, Songs 2 and 6, Songs 3 and 1, and Songs 4 and 5. So you can check out those verses to go deeper. And I guess since we're talking about going deeper, also, if you ready for some meat, okay, check out the video on YouTube that Christ Forgiveness Ministries put out. It's called Sex in Christian Relationships. And it does say plainly on there as well that it's for mature audiences only. So check out that video if you're one of those people that are ready to go deeper, and or if you're a mature audience, check that out for some more information about that. But yeah, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, sex is a sacred and spiritual experience. I know for me, it's been, especially in my adult life, put it like that. For me in my adult life, it's definitely been hard for me to separate the spiritual aspect from the physical. And so that could probably be seen as a blessing and a curse. At the end of the day, I know it's a blessing because again, like I told you all, like I did not do everything right. I believe that I made it clear in another juice, but for the record, like I said, I was introduced to sexual things at an early age, and so because of that, it kind of, when you're a child and you're introduced to sex in whatever way, like, again, I feel like children shouldn't really, well, according to the word, this is only supposed to be happening in marriage, okay? So children should not be doing these things anyway, or should not even be introduced to these things, in my humble opinion, because we're so vulnerable at that time, So, for example, if I just focus on the biblical purposes here. So, if I, at a young age, experience physical pleasure, and yeah, if I'm experiencing physical pleasure at a young age, then here I am. I honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. It's like I still feel like I'm dealing with the fact. I'm still dealing with that now in my adult life, and even now as a wife and a mother, and everything like that. I'm dealing with craving that physical pleasure, and when at the end of the day, we already laid out what the biblical purposes of sex is. Now, my story, by the grace of God, doesn't include me having sex at that young age, but even being touched at that young age. To feel that feeling of being touched at a young age is just, it's crazy to think about that this stuff happens, and it's sad, that this stuff happens, but it does, y'all, and we gotta, like, there's a lot to say about this subject. So I mean, this is just supposed to be just a little one-on-one, just a kind of little quick thing to say, or a quick motivation about this. So I don't know how deep I can get into this right now, but long story short, friends, I think that we need to maintain some self-control in this area. Obviously, that adult that introduced me to those things should have maintained some self-control and not introduce the child, or not touch the child, not kiss the child, or whatever. Because, again, that affected me throughout my entire life, and even now, And so, yeah, that's what I'm saying to you all. This is a spiritual thing and a spiritual experience that should only be happening in marriage. And I can say that I fully understand why now. I mean, yeah, I fully understand why now. Like, maybe growing up, because you hear different things, you're going to hear different things, and you're going to want to do different things. But at the end of the day, like, when you're dealing with the residual issues that come with that, the spiritual issues that could come with that. If you're a believer in Christ, like I said, for me, it's hard to separate the spiritual from and just think of the physical. Because even if I let my mind just think of the physical, and in a moment, I still go back and think of the spiritual, So, I mean, that could be God's way of chastising me, because I know better, everything like that. Who knows, y'all? But what I'm saying is, like, y'all, this subject is deep. Like, I can't even, like, I don't even know, like, how to even. All right, let's keep going, y'all. Well, Genesis 2:24 says, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." And the verse right after that, verse 25 says, "And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed." So, friends, I mean, at the end of the day, with that verse being said, I mean, it's pretty clear, again, that, this is a blessing and a gift. Sex is, but it's a blessing and a gift that is supposed to be in marriage, and which means that any sexual contact between married people is sinful, because it violates God's design, which is, if we forgot, again, those four things before: procreation, intimacy, companionship, physical pleasure. It's all of those things. We can't just go into it and say, I think the problem is that a lot of people just go into it for the physical pleasure aspect, and then forget about the fact that procreation happens. So then next thing there's families, and now there's a child that's growing up in a broken home, or growing up with, without a father, or maybe without a mother, or whatever, and it's like, it's just throwing the order out of whack. It's like the thing that's contributing to the issues of this world. And again, like I said, like I've been saying over the past few weeks about accountability and everything like that. It's like we have to get to the root of the issues, because they are spiritual, and they are more than what we see as the issues. Like, yeah, everybody can sit here and point and fingers at, racism, at whatever, everybody can point fingers at these things, but nobody's really getting to the fact that, again, the family is broken. We're having issues with this whole sex thing, individually, let's not even clump it up and say any particular group. As individuals, we are having problems with this area of our lives, and that's just being completely honest, friends. So, that might be the Pope for y'all this morning in this sex conversation. But hey, let's maintain some self-control. Let's save that for marriage, because it is a beautiful thing to do it God's way. Like, I know I have a friend that compliments me all the time about, having a child after I was married and everything like that. And now, again, all I can do is just give glory and honor to God, because, again, there were times in my life that I did not do everything correct. So who knows what would have happened if I continued to live that life, or I continue to make those decisions and X, Y, and Z. But by the grace of God, I did wait, in regards to having a child, I did wait till I got married and everything like that. And it's a beautiful thing to see my son with with my husband, and, his father and everything like that. And, yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, tight but right. But anyway, and speaking of that, friends, I mean, even in marriage, the marriage bed should not violate God's commandments. So, I mean, I know everybody wants to talk about the marriage bed should be undefiled and everything like that, but it's still, it should not be violating God's commandments. You can look deeper into that, what that is. There's a lot of clear explanations about sex in the Bible. But again, friends, the purpose of sex is to glorify God, to bring forth children, to express intimacy, provide comfort, and to bless the spouse. So, friends, I hope that encourages you this morning in this area. Let's get into the Bible verse of today, and that is 1 Corinthians 13:13. It says, "And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three, but the greatest of these is charity," which other translations say that they just pretty much say that the greatest of these is love. They define charity as love. Well, friends, I hope that you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Just a little taste of something racing. Again, I'll look into, adding more sex into God, sex, and love. Because, that's part of the point. But, I'm sure there'll be many more discussions and things like that in the future. But, yeah. Thank you all for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I hope you all can go forth and have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I was just about to say something. Woo, I'm going to leave it alone. Yes, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. And bye-bye. If you like what you hear, then consider supporting our podcast. Every listener that supports us for $9.99 a month will be entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win a free gift. So become a supporter today.